Just like I showed you from NASA, guys. How it opens up. See, we've seen this flying. Like a satellite flying. Amazing technology. Definitely deception at its best. There you go, guys. It just opens up like a big plastic fan. I don't think it's that big as much as it makes itself appear to be huge. So we're thinking these huge giant wheels are in the sky, but they're not. Look at that. Solar panels. Keep it running on its own. These things could drive around on a program all day long following the center of the sun. We wouldn't even know it unless we're watching. I'm almost done with this one. There you go, guys. I seen that thing. I kind of picked it up in the sky. I'll probably use this video to add to that video. That's it on this one. That's all on that one. Space Force, huh? More like space observation of Planet X. But I think this is amazing technology. How I caught that from NASA in that one video, and I'll put it up. It's amazing technology. Deception at its best, lying at its best, hiding stuff at its best. What I am saying is, let's know when we look up, oh, that's just part of the star shade, and it's not a big deal to us. Now, actually, guys, if they turn that thing off, think about this. If they turned all this equipment off, let me tell you, we'd be kind of freaked out at how many asteroids I think are going through. You get clusters of stuff like this. I've seen many of these pictures that are just clusters of like lens flares. You know, it looks like that on the camera, and I'm starting to actually believe now what they are, guys, is basically a whole bunch of different devices, lenses that are bouncing off each other, and it's all jumbled up. It's kind of malfunctioning, you know? That's my thought on it. It's malfunctioning. I don't know. My thought. Okay, then you get stuff. I like these clouds right here. I do a lot. But look what's happening at the sun up here. Look what's behind the sun. So this is, a lot of this is artificial light with star shade going off. Okay, and then I like these pictures that, I think it's Gil, or Gillian, or Gil. Oh no, Gil needs to come home. He's all mad. But see this right here? Looks like ancient technology, don't it? And so we were all saying, well, this is all planets. Maybe not. Let's go back to my article. If I can find that again. So, you know, we got these devices in the sky that we all want to know about. And so let's know about them. So guys, work with me on here. I'm going to show you this asteroid field being brought. It's being covered up pretty heavy duty. Look at that bed hair I got. Woohoo! Alright, to get somewhat, I'm up here guys, watch this. To get somewhat, accurate fix on location, I would need 6 known points and space to cross-section and resection location. Move up to it, but that is basic. I only have the sun with a known distance from Earth, and it is just a very few pictures. As to time, speed, location, anything I would say is nothing but a guess. But if I had to guess, I would say the main objects will pass close by, making the odds of smaller meteor showers here on the planet a possible reality. Now he did this in 10/2/2020. The first clear sighting when I knew of what an idea of what I would. The first clear sighting when I knew or had an idea of what I was looking at. Of course, we all been looking at it. Of the rock by the telescope was 10/4/2019. We will work from that date. Okay, from 10/2/2020. With that known, if you use the speed of a Gemini rocket of the moon landing, it took about 3 days to cover 240k miles to the moon, the Earth around 92 million miles away from the sun. So if this system was traveling at the speed of Gemini's rocket, it would cover 1 million miles about every 13 to 14 days. And these objects were right next to the sun at this point, 2020, right, in October. Then that would be around 3.2 years at the speed of Gemini rocket. I feel that, he says, I feel when I first saw these objects, they were closer to the sun, but not right now, not right next to it, but they were close, right? So there is a margin of error distance, so under 3.2 years, is going at that speed of the Gemini rocket, but it is possible it is moving faster than a Gemini rocket. Okay, so the numbers are not accurate, he's saying. Right now, with those numbers, these objects would be in our close proximity somewhere between 18 to 24 months. Well, you do the math. October, 24 months, be a little past 22, right? So because you must realize that first I saw these objects, they were already past the sun. So they're coming at us, guys. So this is what's happening. I've been looking at these pictures, and I'll show you more. There's the asteroid field. There's a large asteroid field associated with these objects. I can only see a small part of it at a time. It appears to be hundreds of smaller asteroids from very small house, car-sized building size, strung out over thousands and thousands of miles, possibly millions of miles. And guys, I heard that the tail of Wormwood, or Nemesis, or the red fiery planet, the sister sun binary, that the tail is like over 1 million miles long. So many small asteroids are entering our atmosphere, and others are whizzing by at the same time now. I would not be surprised if any day another 1 or 3 like the asteroid like in Africa hits the planet. Check MMBB3 in the video. So as to the question of size and the many asteroid possible, clear stars, so many unknown factors, he's saying. So basically, any minute, guys, you guys can read this while I'm talking. So you don't know the size of the full sun size. I'm actually thinking the sun is at a super minimal. Remember I showed you the video where the sun was going all day, and it was like 9 parts. I know you guys got tired of it, but at the end there, 10 o'clock in the morning, the sun was up, and it was darker than it was at 7 o'clock in the morning. Can't make that up. So a few star shades are out of there blocking our view. There's quite a few star shades out there blocking our view, he says. Very huge light reflectors. Chemtrails are working in conjunction with everything else to block the view. And when they spray all night, where the next day looking at the sun, like looking at a headlight, through a smoke screen. Yeah, the Bible says it would be like the sun will turn to like sackcloth. So what if the sun has already turned to sackcloth? There's a lot more junk debris, says, in the field. We know there's garbage up there. So my thought was, what if the garbage gets knocked by the asteroid or a big asteroid and it just comes flying into the system? And a lot of garbage, like, 3 pieces of garbage, 3,000 pieces of garbage worldwide a day. Gonna be bad. So you guys, make notes of some of this stuff. I'm going slow and talking so you could write down some of these addresses, check it out, become experts. I like this part when he talks about this. During the summer, sun daylight is about 10,000 foot candles, right? It goes on. This is equal to about 10,000 luminous per square foot. This output is equivalent to about a 1,000-watt metal halide bulb. Yeah. And more and more I watch this stuff, the more and more I agree that we are being fooled. But you know something? This stuff is public domain stuff right here that I'm sharing. And I really shouldn't get blocked for this, but I might, That's okay. It was worth it showing you guys. So we go back to my drive. Let me see, we're going to get lost here. So let me introduce you guys to Starshade. Right on, right? Starshade, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California. Dr. Phil Willems. Now, I don't know if Dr. Phil's the guy sending me all this information, so I know and I can share it. I don't care. But Phil's been sharing stuff with me. The hard stuff is done external to telescopes. So the whole thing, the whole thing is they want to study these planets, right? Well, they're not out there, guys. They are not out there. Let's go here. Let's blow this up. The planets are not out there. They're right here, guys. They're in our system. They're being hid. Multi-orbital phase, multi-band characterization of exoplanetary atmosphere with reflected light spectra. Welcome to CCTV. Anyways, abstract. Let's just read. Direct imaging of widely separated exoplanets from space will obtain their reflected light spectra and measure atmospheric properties. Previous calculations have shown that a change in the orbital phase would cause a spectral signal. but whether this signal may be used to characterize the atmosphere has not been shown. We simulate starshade-enabled observations of the planet 47 UMA-B using a to-date most realistic simulator, SISTER, to estimate the uncertainties due to residential starlight, solar glint, and exoterical light. We then used the Bayesian retrieval algorithm, AdRev, to determine the constraints on the atmospheric properties from observations using a Roman or HabEx-like telescope, comparing the strategies to observe at multiple orbital phases or in multiple wavelength bands. With a 20% bandwidth to 600-800 nm on a Roman-like telescope, the retrieval finds a degenerated scenario with a lower gas abundance and a deeper or absent cloud than the truth. So it's a abundance and a deeper or absent cloud than the truth. Repeating the observation at a different orbital phase or at a second 20% wavelength band with the same integration time and thus degraded SN would effectively eliminate this degenerated solution. Single observation with a HabEx like the telescope would yield high precision constraints on the gas, abundance, and cloud properties. See, so without the degenerated scenario, these results is also generally applicable to high contrast spectroscopy with a chronograph and a similar wavelength coverage can help design a wavelength and bandwidth of the observation plan of exoplanet direct imaging experiments in the future. Keywords to know: methods, statistical, planets, satellites, atmospheres, techniques, spectroscopic, relative, and transfer. So what I'm hearing so far is that they could study the planets better by obstructing the sun or the star's light from that system or galaxy. So let's talk about our galaxy, right? So introduction, direct imaging of exoplanets has begun to pick up momentum as a way to characterize exoplanets at atmospheres. High contrast observations from the ground have measured thermal emissions of spectra or several exoplanets. And the spectra have shown that the presence of carbon monoxide and water in their atmospheres. These planets are young giant planets so that they emit detectable thermal emissions despite being well separated from their host stars. So spaceborne direct imaging capabilities in the future will enable atmospheric and characterization of the reflected light. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Technology or Telescope, Roman hereafter previously known as Wildfield Infrared Survey Telescope. So it's an infrared telescope. Oh, they need that for Nemesis, the dark star. And will be capable of collecting starlight reflected by giant exoplanets through high contrast imaging. The star shade endeavors with Roman satellite or telescope advanced missions concept would further enable Romans to reach a planet-star contrast ratio as low as 10 to 100 powers or whatever. The Habitable Exoplanet Observatory, HabEx, a concept of 4-meter space telescope with a star shade, has the main objective to image potentially Earth-like planets and study their atmospheres. Starshade Endeavourus and HabEx, both with a star shade. Both of them have their own star shade. Would allow studying giant exoplanets orbiting their host stars, like for instance Nemesis or Wormwood, with reflected light spectrums. So as you see here, reflected light spectrums from their cold, gassy planets contain rich information on chemical composition and cloud formation in their atmospheres. So as you can read here, and you will, because I'm going to go through it, you guys continue to read. I believe they're using it on the whole system and watching Planet X system. First and foremost, to hide it from us. So as you read it, as you observe, you got 9 minutes to read this. It's only 11 pages. So take time, read it. I'll be quiet. This shows you basically how they're using technology to look at other planets far, far away, but also, I have to believe they're looking at planets so, so close. And our sun is doing all kinds of strange sun minimals and very strange stuff going on in the sun. All you brainiacs out there, you go ahead and read all this. Tell me what's up. I pretty much know what I want to know is if this thing can be used to hide stars like our sun and to observe the planets coming around it or in front of it. The planets are very close. This is a simulator. It's also a weapon. There's more on that. I won't get into that right now. But they're definitely weapons. They could be used as a weapon. Hopefully I would never see that. But you know, in the New Testament talks about Book of Revelation. They'll call fire down from heaven. There you go. So you got time, take a read. Slow it down, turn the music off, and read this thing. I have. It's a lot to read to you because a lot of it's scientific garb and I can't even pronounce half of it. But that's okay. That's why you guys love me. Anyways, here's your math. Anyway, don't have this on the end of a video. We're showing you what it could do.